Attention to business. The Nigeria Governors Forum is calling for an urgent discussion among stakeholders to address food inflation, naira depreciation, and rising insecurity across the country. The NGF made the call in a communique issued by its chairman and governor of Kwara State, Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, after its emergency virtual meeting. The chairman said members of the forum deliberated on the security situation and food stability in the country. He said the governors at the meeting were briefed by National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribado and the Representative Director General of the Department of State Service. Others, he said, include improving foreign exchange supply by easing commodity export requirement to encourage exportation and supply of foreign exchange. And in the meantime, the federal government has set up an inter-ministerial committee to suggest ways of achieving a sustainable gas supply to gas-generating plants in the country. The inter-ministerial committee was constituted in Abuja by the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Mr. Ekpebiri Ekpo, and the Minister of Power, Mr. Adebayo Adelabu, on the end of a meeting between the two ministries. The Minister of State, in a statement by the Assistant Director of Press and Public Relations of the Ministry, Mr. Chris Ugwebulam, said the committee will address the challenges of low gas supply to thermal power plant stations nationwide. The committee will suggest means of achieving a steady gas supply to meet domestic and industrial needs of Nigerians in line with the Renew Hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu's administration, while expressing willingness to work harmoniously with any individual, organization, and agency to solve these challenges. And in the meantime, the Nigeria Customs Service has taken a significant step towards streamlining custom processes with the launch of its time-release study, the initiative aimed at expediting the release of goods at port and borders, whose promise for enhancing trade efficiency. TVC News correspondent Ifunanyeze has more.
Nigeria has long grappled with meeting global standards in cargo clearing, resulting in delays and increased costs for businesses operating at the ports. The introduction of the time-release study is seen as a critical move to address these challenges and improve trade facilitation.
It is a strategic endeavor aimed at promoting how we facilitate trade, ensure alignment with international best practices, and contributing substantially to national development.
The presence of top officials from related ministries and agencies underscores the significance of this initiative, positioning Nigeria as a competitive player in the international trade arena.
The launch of the TRS aligns with our administration's commitment to promote trade and improve the ease of doing business in Nigeria. This initiative is a reflection of Mr. President's pledge to the global business community that he will eliminate all obstacles and create a conducive environment for businesses to flourish and for them to invest further in Nigeria.
A conducive port environment is crucial for the facilitation of international trade. Efficient custom and other processes are paramount for achieving cost-effective goods clearance.
This concept is rooted in the drive to streamline customs procedures and improve trade facilitation. It has become increasingly important as part of global initiatives aimed at reducing barriers.
Customs Controller General Adewale Adeniyi says he is confident that reactivating the time-release study will enable customs to effectively measure the duration from goods arrival at the customs border and port until their release.
We want to reduce the time and the cost of conducting business in our ports. So we want to make sure that we improve efficiency. We want to make sure that we enhance the competitiveness of our ports. We cannot do this if there are obstacles.
The launch of the customs time-release study in Nigeria has highlighted calls for more focus on building and maintaining the necessary infrastructure to sustain and maximize its benefits. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
And now the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is assuring Nigerians that there is no imminent increase in the cost of premium motor spirit commonly known as petrol. The Chief Corporate Communications Officer of NPC Limited, Mr. Olufemi Shunaye, in a statement asked Nigerians to disregard unfounded rumors as there are no plans for an upward reveal of price of PMS. He urged Nigerians not to engage in panic buying of petrol as there is presently ample availability of PMS across the country. Oil marketers had expressed fears that there might be a scarcity of petrol if the NNPC fails to make the product available to depot owners and other dealers. They said the long queues being experienced in filling stations in some parts of Ogun State might eventually spread to other parts of the nation, should the NNPC fail to sell enough petrol to distributors. And our Japanese shares hit a 34-year highs today as world stocks eyed a third week of gains, while adjustment to interest rate expectations sent the yen to a 2-month low and the Australian and New Zealand dollars in opposition directions. In China, mainland markets were closed and Hong Kong traded thinly and shortly, with the Hang Seng down 0.8%. Now authorities may not deliver on promises for support. The index lost about 29% in the zodiac year of the rabbit, and the dragon year begins with China sentiment in the dumps and expectations of some sort of support announcement in Lunar New Year holiday. MSCI's Broadex Index of Asia Pacific shares outside Japan fell 0.3%, though still eked a weekly rise. Japan's Nikkei, which has been receiving a gush of foreign inflows as investors flee China, rose by 0.3%, aided by a retreating yen that